Anyone accusing Serena Williams of being on Ozempic because of her weight loss? Are you all good? So Serena Williams was posting these photos where she was sporting a six-pack, she was looking very slim, and people have been accusing her of cheating the weight loss system and using Ozempic. And people were saying that she looked way bigger before. First of all, this picture is like years old. And you all seem to forget that she was a professional athlete. She was training every single day. And while she was still a professional tennis player, obviously she was bigger because she had way more muscle, which is totally normal for an athlete.
Well, a lot of people have been wondering about my new fitness journey and what I've been doing, and I've been really open about me being on GLP-1s. And I thought it was really important just to come out and say it. So I'm on a GLP-1 through Ro.co. And for me, it was really just about taking away that stigma of like, is it a lazy way? Is it a shortcut? Like, why would you do that? And so for me, like after having my first kid with Olympia, and then, you know, in particular after having the second kid, I was never able to be at a healthy weight that I could be at, whether it was my joints or blood sugar levels. It was just always something that I suffered with.
Today, we got to get into what's been happening with Serena Williams, because let's be real, her journey has been wild. We all know Serena as one of the greatest athletes alive, dominating the tennis world right alongside her sister Venus. And now Venus is about to marry her Italian fiancé. Life is moving fast for the Williams sisters, but when you look back, we remember those early days when the two rocked the court with beads in their braids, unapologetically showing their style. That image was powerful. It stamped their identity in a sport that wasn't ready for them. Yet as the years passed, we started noticing major changes in Serena's look. Her transformation sparked endless conversations, with people whispering that she seemed almost obsessed with trying to look more European. Critics claimed she was getting more self-conscious about her skin tone, even pointing out signs of possible cosmetic tweaks. At the same time, Serena still tried to keep ties to the culture, linking up with artists like Kendrick Lamar and staying connected to her roots. But here's where it got messy, because some people began accusing her of abandoning her natural beauty, calling her out in ways that were harsh and controversial. People didn't just debate her choices, they labeled her, dragging her name through all kinds of discussions that made her look like she was losing herself. Now, whether those rumors are fair or not, the truth is Serena's image has always been under a microscope, and every little shift she makes becomes a headline, whether she likes it or not. Let's keep it real. Serena had everybody watching when she suddenly kicked off this weight loss journey. Even after retiring from tennis, she wasn't slowing down. She was slimming down and fast. People couldn't help but notice how quickly the pounds were dropping, and it sparked a whole wave of speculation. Fans were looking at her like, wait a minute, what's really going on here? Some thought it was just discipline, but others were raising eyebrows, wondering if something else was behind that dramatic change. And of course, the moment questions started flying, her loyal supporters jumped in, clapping back at anyone daring to suggest something wasn't natural. The debate got loud, with some defending her fiercely and others convinced there had to be more to the story. Then, finally, Serena herself spoke up. She revealed that she was actually using GLP-1s, medications originally made for diabetes that are now being pushed as weight loss aids. And the twist? Rumors started spreading that Serena isn't just a user. She might even be tied in with the very companies promoting these drugs. Think about that, not just slimming down, but possibly cashing in at the same time. Now that changes the entire conversation. Now here's where the speculation really gets wild. People started saying Serena wasn't focusing on health the way most folks would. She had a shortcut, and that shortcut came with risks. Those GLP-1 drugs might help you shed weight fast, but they're not some magic solution. They come with a whole list of side effects that can hit hard. You can look it up yourself, because it's not all sunshine and results, and plenty of doctors have warned about the long-term costs. What makes this even more dramatic is how Serena framed it, or didn't. She's talked about being open, but if she's been truly transparent, a lot of us sure haven't heard it. So people are left wondering, was this really about health or about image? And when the spotlight's on her, every choice carries extra meaning, especially for the women watching her closely. Let's keep it real. For a lot of women, especially Black women, the message lands heavy. If you're living a lifestyle where losing weight naturally feels impossible, suddenly these meds look like the golden ticket. But here's the catch, it's a quick fix, not a forever cure. That's the part people gloss over while chasing results. And then on top of all this comes the relationship angle. Serena's married to a wealthy, powerful white husband, and that dynamic sparks even more whispers. People throw out ideas like maybe being tied to someone successful and loaded makes the pressure to look a certain way even more intense. Nobody wants to say it out loud, but the reality is these choices don't happen in a vacuum, and her personal life might be fueling the way she presents herself to the world. Let's break it down. When you're in a certain kind of relationship, especially with a man who's wealthy and white, the pressure to fit into a particular body size hits different. That's a reality nobody really wants to admit out loud. In Black culture, it's a whole other story. Being thick, having curves, that's celebrated. Brothers will tell you straight up that it's not just acceptable, it's desirable. There's pride in a woman being naturally built, and Serena has always been that. She's got the shape that a lot of men in her own community actually prefer. But here's the twist. When you step outside of that cultural lane, the standards change. Serena might have been exactly what Black men wanted, but the moment she crossed over, suddenly the vibe shifted. Now the whispers are about how she has to slim down, fit into a different mold, and keep up appearances that match a certain image. And people are side-eyeing that like, is this really about health or is it about keeping up with the kind of partner she chose? Living overseas, the differences stand out even more. In places like Uganda, you'll see knockout women with curves that make heads turn all day long. But one thing that stands out, you rarely see wealthy white men walking around with women who are built like that. Instead, what you see more often are white men choosing women who look closer to their own cultural expectations, sometimes even the ones locals describe as from the village. That's what people here call it, and it shows just how deep these cultural preferences really run. So when you look at Serena, the situation gets layered because her body isn't just her body anymore. It's tied up with how people read her marriage, her choices, and her identity. So here's how the talk usually goes. People start implying that women from the village are slimmer than the women from the city, and that's why certain men choose them. Now that's not always true, but that's the stereotype that keeps getting thrown around. And when you hear folks break it down, the message is clear. When white men go for Black women, it's often said they prefer them thinner. Not every single time, of course, but the assumption is heavy and it's something you can't just ignore. And the wild part, that preference rarely changes. The standard stays locked in, and if you're a woman stepping into that kind of relationship, you're expected to adjust to fit the mold. Meanwhile, you've got Black women proudly saying, I want me a Korean man, I want me an Asian man, I want me this or that. And that's fine. But the real question is, do you know the type of woman those men usually go for? Because the reality is, in most cases, they're not chasing the same body types that Black culture celebrates. Here's the kicker. The more money that man has, the less forgiving he tends to be about appearances. If he's wealthy and successful, he wants his partner looking polished, slim, and put together at all times. No excuses. Even if you've had kids, even if you're dealing with real life, the expectation doesn't change. And that's where the pressure comes crashing down. Because when you're with someone who's got resources and influence, suddenly your body isn't just your business, it's a reflection of him too. Let's keep it all the way real. When a man like that tells you, I need you to look a certain way, that's exactly what he means. A lot of women don't get it when they dream about landing a white man, an Asian man, or any man outside their culture. They think it's all about love, but there's another layer at play. It's not just about Serena saying she's getting in shape for herself. No. The truth is, she's working on that body to please him, to match his standards, and to stay aligned with the beauty ideals that come from his world. And what are those ideals? Slimmer, tighter, polished to perfection. That's the white beauty standard, and Serena's moves look like they've been following that script step by step. Folks can try to spin it any way they want, but the bottom line is clear. Her transformation lines up with the expectations of the man she married and the circles she moves in. So when women see this, the hidden message hits them hard. If you're planning to date outside your race, you better be ready to keep that body in check 24/7. There's no room for slipping, no space for excuses, because the pressure doubles the moment you step into that world. And that's not just opinion, it's the cold, unfiltered truth. Whether you're chasing a white man, a rich man, or even a black man with high standards, the demand is the same. Stay looking sharp or risk being replaced. Take a trip to Poland and walk through a shopping mall. You'll see women passing out Christmas cards or gifts, but you know what you won't see? You won't see a BBW out there front and center. Now, sure, Europe talks about body positivity, but it's not mainstream like it is in America. The culture over there doesn't celebrate thickness the same way. It's not put on a pedestal. Yeah, you'll find white women in Germany or other parts of Europe who've got curves too, but let's be honest, those aren't usually the women society pushes as winners. And that's where Serena comes into the picture. She's caught in the middle, trying to keep one foot in black culture while planting the other deep in European spaces. One minute she's showing off that she can hit a crip walk for the cameras. The next she's out in France speaking polished French like she's fully embraced the European elite. That balancing act makes her look like she's obsessed with European approval, even if it means reshaping herself to fit into their mold. People say this isn't just about her body, it's about identity. Serena wants to be accepted in white spaces while still cashing in on her black roots, and that contradiction is what makes her story so messy. It's like a softer version of what folks accuse Candace Owens of doing, just with fewer political speeches. Serena might not be conservative, but her actions tell their own story. And whether she admits it or not, the way she moves makes it clear. She's chasing validation from a world that doesn't fully celebrate her natural self. Let's not pretend. There's barely any difference between Serena's situation and someone like Candace Owens. Look at her. Candace could have 5 kids tomorrow, and you better believe she's not gonna pack on a bunch of weight. Why? Simple. Look at who she married. That's the standard she's locked into, and the expectations in that kind of relationship don't bend. Now think about it. When have you ever seen a prominent black woman married to a powerful white man who was plus-sized or what people call BBW? Go ahead, try to name one. You won't find it. Every time, those women are in shape, toned, and kept up like clockwork. And people notice it. They'll whisper, "Damn, she stays in good shape." And they're right. But that's not just by chance. It's part of the unspoken power dynamic and control that exists inside many interracial relationships, especially when it's a black woman with a white man or even an Asian man. It's an expectation that runs deep. Stay fit, stay presentable, stay polished. Now compare that to relationships between black men and black women. The rules flip. A brother might shrug and say, "Yeah, my wife gained weight, but so did I, and that's life." That's a whole different energy. Switch the skin tones in the picture though, and suddenly the pressure changes overnight. It's like the standards get rewritten depending on who the partner is, and Serena's story fits right into that mold. That's it from me. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.